Cam Radio, we go ham. It's your boy Tony G, Big Lou. Every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. Great weekend. I was we were down in Lake Charles at the Nugget and at Horseshoe. Man, it was great experience. Got to watch the Thanx and Martin fight. It was good. Obviously, Thanx came through. Came through. He took a couple. He definitely took some shots. I mean, he had some abrasions on his left side and on his left side of the eye. But it was a good fight. That was good. And man, how about this series? 3-1. Last week, 3-1.
Yeah. Last weekend, we've been pretty on point with this series. We said they was going to, get one game when they went back to Dallas, and they did. Now they are back in Boston, and let's see what happens.
Well, I think some of the deal is, and this is just my personal opinion. I mean, watched all 4 games, just like you did, and I think the bottom line is it's going to take everything Boston has to beat them. They may be able to beat them. They beat them one game. That's fact. That's in there. But I think this is why they have theories in the NBA, because you can beat them one game, and I think, and if I remember correctly, we talked about this way before this series ever began about Boston. Like, hey, if you're like, you even mentioned like, hey, I see them winning a game or 2, but I don't see them winning. That was you that said that, and I don't see them winning the series, and that's the difference between NBA Finals and the March Madness. There's not any room for error.
No room for error, and it's just Boston has a more complete team. Because if you really think about it, Tatum's supposed to be the star. Brown's supposed to be the backup, but there's been some back and forth about who is who. But they have a whole team of go-to guys. They got Drew Holiday they can go to. They can go to Porzingis. He's going to be back. They got Al Horford with the experience, and he still got his shot, and he can create shots. So they have more players with experience than Dallas does. And I believe that's why Boston is going to take the series, because of experience. Even though they haven't won, they haven't won the NBA Finals in a while. But with this matchup, they have more experience. And then also you got Sam Cassell that's a part of that coaching staff that's working with these players, and he has plenty of basketball IQ to give them, especially to the more veteran players. And they're all dialed in. They all, are locked in. So I really feel like Boston is going to win it over experience, because Luka and Kyrie can't do it. Who against 7?
That's true. No, that's you're 100%. Let me ask you this: so if Boston wins, do you think Al calls it quits?
Maybe. If Boston win, I'm not sure, but I have I'm like you. I do feel like, because that's mostly what they play for. They play to get that ring. I think if he get his ring, that probably complete his journey, and he probably will hang it up, or after he get his ring, then he'll probably start playing for other teams.
I mean, he's been in the league a long time.
His value. Yes, he has.
Yeah, he's been a rock solid. He's been a rock solid player since since day one. He's been rock solid. And I think he stays there for, what is it, 15 years you've been in the league?
Just about.
Yeah, so
15 years.
Where are you gonna? We're gonna start traveling around now. I think he goes one more. I think he may go one more year, and juice out the money. Because, man, to be honest with you, the man can still play. The man can still play.
He still got
He is,
basketball in him.
yeah, he definitely and Holiday, he's been in the league. He's not no newcomer neither.
No, he's got some miles on his too, and this will be his second because he's won one with the Bucks, or did he win two with the Bucks?
One with the Bucks. He won one
One
with
with
the
the Bucks, and if they win now, then he'll have one with the Celtics, so he'll have two rings.
have two
So
rings, and I think the spread's 6.5. And they're playing in Boston. Now check this out. So we're recorded. It's Monday. The Celtics are about to play.
yeah, they're playing tonight. Yeah,
It's playing tonight. It's 6:17. What's the area code in Boston? 617. So we got 617 area code on 617. There's a lot of you can't, the money line's still kind of screwed up, but I mean you could take it. You might be able
numbers.
to you can mess around with the spread. Maybe make it 3 if you feel more comfortable with 3. But this is what I think. I think if Dallas wins, it'll be by 3. If Boston wins, it'll be by 10 plus.
Yes,
that's what I mean. I know
agree.
that. I guess somebody said, "Well, I don't really." Well, who are you picking? I'm just telling you the circumstances that are going to follow. If Boston's going to win by, Dallas will win by 3 or 4. I said, but if Boston wins, they're going to come out and they're going to smoke. They're going to be on every cylinder because you saw Dallas play when Boston was on all cylinders. Now you can argue the fact saying that Kyrie wasn't having a good day, I'll go with you on that. But I think you summed it all up. Kyrie and Luka alone cannot beat the Holiday, Lou, Thingus, it just, we can go on and
White.
on.
Yeah, and then they still have White coming off the bench, so it's a lot more to deal with. And if their shot is off, then they're cooked. They're cooked. It's just how bad they want it. Me personally, as much as I want Luka to get his, and I want this to be the perfect, it'll be the perfect story for Kyrie.
Yeah.
I just don't think they have enough talent. I won't say they don't have enough talent because their youth is talented. They just don't have the experience. If they had one more experienced veteran guy on their team, probably one more experienced big, they'll have a shot at it. But they need another tried and true veteran or some tried and true role players to come off that bench and to guide them guys when their shot is off or when they're not on the court.
The good news is about Dallas is Kyrie still got years left in him. Yes. Luka is a young player. Mm-hmm. They still got time. It ain't like it's, oh my God, we gotta do it tomorrow or it's not going to happen. I mean, they got time. And if they don't win this, if they do lose tonight, the good news is they only, like you said, they need another big, maybe another bench play. I mean, they need a couple little things.
Yeah, just a couple of pieces.
Yeah, that's
to carry them over when their stars are not here.
Yes, I mean, because they both there's time left. It's just the fact of maybe not this year. And I know all these teams are all about spending. They're spending so much money that everybody wants to win. I get it, but the good news is with Dallas is they still got time. Luka's young. Kyrie still got time. So you add a couple more pieces to Dallas, and Dallas can be pretty scary. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
They're still going to be one of the top teams in the West, because we know all those guys are coming back. Denver, Minnesota, OKC, all these teams are just going to get better because now they've got the experience of playing in the playoffs and what it takes. And I also believe that the role players that Dallas have, they're going to be better next year, but they just need a couple of more proven veterans that can help them with the development because it comes better from the players than it does the coach.
And that's like the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves kind of got overwhelmed. They got socked around a little bit.
Right.
And they had a great year. And we thought, we didn't think Dallas was going to handle them like that, but they did. But then at the same time, we didn't think Timberwolves were going to handle the Nuggets the way they did. It
Right.
kind of goes back and forth.
Yeah.
So, I'm not. There's a lot of. Like I said, I think next year we're going to have Dallas better, Timberwolves better. We got the Celtics. It'll be interesting to see what. I tell you, one of the interesting stories, and me and you have already talked about this, is what's going to happen with the Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Sacramento kind of up. There's a lot of good basketball, and I think it's good that it's moving around. Obviously, Boston, this isn't their first time. Obviously, this will be like their 18th championship. I get that. But it's cool that we're seeing all these cities like Denver, like Milwaukee, like Minnesota, these cities that normally aren't there, that they're there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Oklahoma. Oklahoma made a nice run. The Knicks are coming back. There's a lot of great. I think the NBA is in a good spot.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I definitely think it's in a real. I touch a little hockey last night. The Edmonton managed to win one. They were down 3-0. They managed to win one, but I think it's inevitable. It's inevitable about Florida. I think that.
Oh yeah, they those guys are cooking down there. They're cooking. Florida's cooking right now, and it's ironic that when the basketball team won their game, that's when the hockey team pulled out a victory too. So they carried that momentum. But they got a lot to deal with Florida. They got a lot to deal with those Panthers.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And a little bit of NFL information is Dak still hasn't got signed.
Thanx hasn't got signed. Speaking of 60 million, I don't. Yeah, and we talked about it last week. We kind of don't know what they're doing. It feels like this is the last year that they're going to do what they're doing, paying for top dollar players. Feels like they're going to scale down and start their rebuilding process, but just have the key players in place. Because that could get his money anywhere else. You got Oakland out there. There's too many teams out there, New York Giants, too many teams out there that could use Dak services. And I also heard, in the sports news that, maybe he's getting burnt out from the whole, Dallas Cowboy, presence, the all of that. Maybe he just needs to go to a team that's about football and not the spotlight, and maybe he could perform better. Maybe that has something to do with it, which is a good angle to take.
Yeah, that's a good. What's so crazy is and I was watching this, and I know you've seen this 100 times. When you think about some of just take Brett Favre. Brett Favre was an Atlanta Falcon.
Yeah.
What's his name? Did not like him. He didn't start. He was. They treated him terrible. They sent him over to Green Bay, wins the Super Bowl,
Green Bay,
and All Pro, Hall of Fame. So, and you got a good. That's a really good aspect. I'm going to tell you who. Now I'm being messy, but I'm going to tell you where there's a couple teams where I think Dak would be a great fit, and one would be Arizona.
Oh, definitely.
I think Arizona would be a great fit, and in Las Vegas wouldn't be a bad fit.
Absolutely.
Las Vegas wouldn't be a bad fit, and the Miami Dolphins. And you say, and somebody told me I was crazy. I was like, well, here's the deal. Dak's pretty damn durable. He's got a couple. He's a big guy, and I said Tua. I like Tua. We talked about him on the phone. I really like Tua. but
Mhm.
he's a smaller guy. He don't take hits. You know what I'm saying? That's the
Right.
thing that at the end of the day, I mean, um, and that's one thing Miami they have gotten better about protecting him,
Hmm.
but they still have they still got some issues, just like Trevor Lawrence. I mean, they need to get him some.
And,
Yeah,
and yeah, they didn't give
um,
some help, but he got the bag. He's
yeah,
got the
he got.
bag, and he's
Yeah,
there. He's
he
there for
did. He
like what
did.
2027. So
Yeah,
it's time for him to
100
show up now.
$177 million extension, 123 guaranteed.
Yeah, but for Sarman, what you got to realize is that yes, it's 120 million, but he's going to get most of that on the back end. He's not going
Yeah,
to get all that 120 million like right up front. And I know that
right.
sometimes when we discuss salaries like that, people will get like that, they're getting all this money, but they don't get it all up front. It's on the back end. That's how they work. They spread it out so that they can go back and revisit it and tweak it
Yeah.
so that they can keep some key elements around him to make him a great quarterback. That
Hey,
everybody's, it's a copycat league. Everybody's trying to work out of the negotiation book that KC has what they did with Mahomes, but he's trying to true. Now they're going for a three-peat because he's about football. He's going to get his. He's about football.
hey, after watching what happened last year with Kansas City, I give them just as good a shot to win again as anybody.
Hmm.
And
I do too.
and and the thing that scares me with them is they can finish 10-7 because there's one thing that we know when week 18 happens, that's a whole different Kansas City football team that you are about to see that
Hmm.
is on another level that no one seems to be able to handle.
Yeah, and now he
Yeah,
has weapons. Last season was the season that every team in the AFC had a shot, to get in front of them, and they still managed to go to the Super Bowl and win it. Because now everybody's resetting, especially in their division.
yeah,
Vegas got to get a quarterback. We
yeah.
don't know what's going on in Denver. They just, they just hit the restart, and now you got Harbaugh in San Diego, but he's doing the same thing. So it's going to be some seasons before they catch up. So
You watch.
I feel strongly about them three people.
I think Jimmy G is going to get paid again. He may not get $100 million, but he'll get paid again.
Oh yeah,
I think
absolutely.
he'll
I think
get
so too.
he'll. I think he'll get a 50-60 million dollar, um, 50-60 million dollar deal somewhere. I don't know where. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's
But
just
yeah, he's still a serviceable guy. He's still a serviceable guy, and if he can just get his health straightened out, then he can
that's it.
ball.
Yeah,
Hmm. Just
he can ball.
stay
He
healthy.
really can. Yeah, it's just a healthy thing that he hasn't been able to. It's been kind of a tight. It's been really tight on him.
Hmm.
And I had some people ask me, so with going, going in on sports betting. Now we got a lot of baseball. I had some people ask me some questions, and I said, "Hey, man, if you don't like playing the game, play. Watch your pitchers, watch your hitters. There's a
Hmm.
lot of player props. You know what I mean? Like you may get a 2A, whatever, 2 hits or 3 hits. There's a lot of money to be made on player prop bets. How many strikeouts? Um, there's a lot of stuff over unders on that. You don't necessarily have to. You don't have to. You don't have to bet the game, but there's a lot. You just got to know your. You just got to keep an
Oh, your
eye on your
players study.
player.
Yeah, keep an eye on player stats. Study the players.
Yeah.
To me, baseball is a hard game to gamble on as far as like betting on your teams and the wins and the loss column, especially if you're going to put a considerable amount of money into it,
Oh
because
yeah.
baseball can change just like that. I mean, you can have a team that's up by 7 runs, but that ninth inning is a whole nother ball game. And
Game
and, and
over.
now it's $250 down the drain, you know, because they had that one inning where one player caught fire and it just went down. It just, went all the way down the line, and now they're back up and they win a game, or they go up 2 or 3 runs, or two or three scores, and you're in the dust. So my suggestion, if you know the game, do what you do, but I would bet a little bit on that, and I would put most of my money in stats and runs scored and hits and you know
Player props. A lot
yeah,
of player
right,
props,
player prop,
and there and
absolutely.
there's and you got golf. It's summertime. You got golf, U.S. Open. Uh, there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of gambling. You got still got a lot of horse racing left. I think
Hmm.
we're I think we're 75 days away from opening day for NFL. So we still got 2 months, two months plus on that. Um, but yeah, like I said, there's a lot to be had. And then, we bet the other night on, first time ever, I bet on uh, women's basketball. I bet on Angela to, uh, to, to score over 10.5 points. That was
Oh
my
yeah,
first time ever betting on women's basketball, and she scored 18.
wow,
So there's a lot of
good
action. Like I
job.
said, there's a lot of player props. You just got to look for them. You got to know
Hmm.
your player. I mean, that's the
Right,
bottom line. You got
gotta
to
do
know
your
your
research.
player. Yeah, Angela
Hmm.
Reese. Yeah, it was 10.5. She scored. Uh, one thing about um, Kaylin and Angela coming into the WNBA, they they've put some attention on it. I will
Absolutely.
give that. Yeah.
Hmm.
So, and I think that's a good thing. Now whether or not they can keep it, I don't know. But they got
Right, we'll
Tony
just
G.
have to see. But
Yeah, we'll have to see. How are we on time?
time, we 5.5 minutes left, so we got
Okay,
a little
okay.
more time to
We got a little more time to accept.
mhm.
So yeah, so that's a good thing. That's moving in a good position. Uh, which like I said is cool. Like I said, it's bringing a lot of spotlight.
And
Spotlight.
attention
I
to
mean,
the yeah,
yeah,
spotlight and
I'm not.
attention to the game, and bringing a lot of excitement. Uh, one little local college news note. Les Miles is filing a lawsuit against LSU because of the allegations that they had where players were getting paid by boosters illegally. So they stripped LSU of some games. Well, unfortunately, when that happened, that put Les Miles out of the Hall of Fame race. So now he's filing a lawsuit against LSU and the NCAA because, according to him, the people that stripped the games had to be on the committee. And I guess he said that those wins should count because boosters giving players money has nothing to do with him, you know,
Right.
or his career. But they're saying because that happened, LSU, as part of the penalty, had to forfeit a few games, but those games they forfeited put him out of contention for the Hall of Fame. I'll have more details on it on the sports break that's gonna start coming up throughout the week, and I will go into detail about that whole situation.
So, I mean, what's so crazy is it's kind of like, remember when the Saints got when really they really screwed the
Yeah,
Saints around on. I
yeah,
mean
Bounty
that.
Gate.
That's been going on in the NFL for 40 years, and
Yeah,
now
everybody does.
yeah, I'm not saying that it's right. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
so now we're going to pick and choose, and now all of a sudden, boosters have been giving college players money for the last 50 years, and now it's a problem.
absolutely. Now it's
I
a
think so.
problem. Now that the NIL is in place, now it's a problem. I feel like now that the NIL is in place, you know, all of that should be null and void because they just gave Reggie Bush his Heisman back. because
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
NIL today, and players are getting paid for sports. For the games, like they got the college football game back because now players are getting paid. So you're gonna have the NCAA basketball and football games on the consoles now, where they can have their name. They're getting compensated for.
Yes. Yes. Yeah,
So I think,
it's crazy. It really
yeah,
is. It really
it's
is.
crazy thing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
for sure. Hey, so again, man, you guys reach out to us and the sportsbook, the sportsbook Facebook page, the KM Radio sportsbook KM Radio page. If you guys have anything going on locally, if you have any questions, anything about advertisement, any questions to do with the station, hit us up at, like I said, sportsbook Facebook, KM Radio Facebook. More than welcome to answer any questions you guys got. And again, want to thank everyone and thank our KM family out there at the radio station that make it all possible. Thank Big Lou, man. We appreciate you doing all the stuff that you do with all our graphics and everything. How are we looking on time?
On time, we got a minute 35 left.
Okay.
Minute 35 left.
So the other thing is that I think, like I said, stay with your play with your player props. Watch your player props. Know your players. Like I said, baseball is a game of the stats. It's a stats. It's a stats. It's a stats. It's just one of those things that never ends. And then, hey, want to wave to everyone in the fan. So this is what we're doing. But yeah, I want to thank everyone again. Thank Big Lou. We got some good stuff coming up for the summer. Hopefully we'll have some events we'll be able to go to, and we'll go from there, man. Again, I want to thank everyone for tuning in every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, Tony G, Big Lou, KM Radio, where we go.
Damn.
All right, man. Do it.